Gothic friends, this is Alice in Gothic Land. Very welcome today to this session. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna try to cheer up a little bit more because my husband thinks I'm too serious, and even though this is a Gothic side and maybe we should be that serious, maybe it's not the plan. The plan is to make you feel comfortable, and I don't want to put you off with my serious face. Okay, so today I would like to talk to you about something very important that is very connected to the Gothic, and you're going to see why. I want to talk about identity. And why did I think about this topic, this subject today? Identity is very important, as you know, and in the times we live in, identity seems to be the one thing that we are kind of losing because of all the pandemic, because of who we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to behave, what are the guidelines society is giving us some guidelines that not all of us, we are managing to follow in the right way. We have become the police of each other, but okay, that's something for another day. Yeah, the way we behave with each other. So why identity? It's very important because a few weeks ago, a student of mine said, I always bring the Gothic in our English lessons, and he said to me, "When did you know you were Gothic?" And I was like, like my song goes, he does this. Good question. And the answer is, I didn't choose to be Gothic, and I didn't decide at time. And that's what I said to him. I didn't decide. I was going in my head, okay, let's try to find the exact moment. I wanted to give him the exact moment when I became Gothic. And I couldn't because as I was trying to go back in time, I found out that my earliest memories in childhood were memories of me sitting down in front of the TV with my mother watching Chicho Ibáñez Serrador. And I think the program was called Historias para no dormir. So that was a Spanish program called Stories Not to Sleep at Night. Scary stories. And from that moment, that was black and white. Then later on we had La Dimensió Desconeguda in a Catalan TV channel, so the unknown dimension. That was also, I think, black and white. And it had this... I remember it had this circle, this black and white circle spiral, and this music, Nino, 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 and it's almost like Shark, like Jaws. And I've always been attracted to scary things. It's just that we used to call them scary things. We used to call monsters, we used to call them ghosts, we used to talk about specific things inside what we know now is the Gothic. And probably most of you still do not know what Gothic is, but I will describe and define that for you another moment. For now, let's concentrate on identity, and you'll see where I'm going. So, initially, the origin of me was with everything, my habits, my routine, my likes, my tastes that nobody imposed. My mom watched that, but she also watched other things. She watched romance and she watched comedy. And we did watch a lot of things with my dad. My dad used to like Westerns, and I don't have an inclination for Westerns. My husband likes Clint Eastwood, and I like Clint Eastwood in some of the films that are not Westerns. So I was kind of born with these interests. So what's happened, or what did happen over time, is that I suppressed this side of myself to be accepted in society. Only a couple of years ago, I started 10 years ago. Let's go back a bit further back in time. 10 years ago, when I was at university, because I was a late mature student, and then I kind of rediscovered that the things that I like, the monsters that I like, the strangeness and the supernatural, and all these things that I like, it had a name in literature, and it was called Gothic Literature. And I was overwhelmed. I was not overwhelmed because I could be negative. Yeah, overwhelmed sometimes can be a bit negative. I was happily surprised of finding something really, really exciting, something that really talked to me, something that I could identify with. And I thought I could continue my studies, that I could continue that way. But then it turned out that we didn't have the possibility at university of doing that. And at that time, I had already made up my mind staying in Spain. So things got complicated, as they do. So I, thanks to my sister, she said, well, if you don't find it, why don't you make it? And why don't you do it yourself? And there is when my Gothic side started kicking in a little bit. It wanted to come out. But again, you suppress yourself. You're your worst enemies, people. You are your worst enemy. Because you decide that society is going to laugh at you, that the rest of your colleagues are going to laugh at you, that nobody's going to understand you, and you suppress your real self. And you don't think you are going to survive because, let's be honest, we all have to make a living. And who's going to make a living from the Gothic? Well, so that was kind of parked, but always there on one side, always going creak. And I never really left it because I couldn't do the degree for different reasons. I decided that nothing would stop me from doing my own research. So there I went, and I got my own books, and I started looking at chronology, and I started creating with my sister. She helped me to create this website that had everything I wanted to learn from the Gothic. So my identity started to want to come out. My personality, my real me started to come out there. But in the meantime, I was working just teaching English, the English language in itself, just the pure traditional, if you want, way of teaching English. And little by little, you realize that my literary Gothic side needed to come out. It was only a couple of years ago when my husband had an ictus that all of this started to take shape. And I decided that writing short Gothic stories would actually help me in a cathartic way to come out of the situation. I was feeling really suppressed. I was encorseted with the illness that he was suffering, but that I needed to help him to overcome. And with the economical situation, 2 little kids, it was kind of difficult. And somehow the Gothic really helped me to get out there, get on Twitter, start posting my stories in my blog, and start bringing people into my life. People that, like me, belong to the Gothic, belong to the horror, to all these stories that when we were all little, we loved. And a lot of us really like these kind of things. It's just that still you don't know it. So that's a name for the course. You are Gothic, but you don't know it. I don't know if you feel that way sometimes, but I would like you to let me know. Yes, if you can write to me some comments, I would like to know if you really identify with the same issues. So basically, I've always been like this. It's just that I've been suppressing it. This identity problem is something that the Gothic works on really, really well. So the Gothic is not just literature to spend the night reading on a rainy day in front of the fireplace, and now we're getting close to Halloween, is even better. It's not just for that. It's not just to spend some entertaining time. Entertainment can have a really great impact in our lives. Entertainment brings out who we really are and what we really like doing. So think about it, and let me know. Do you think you have Gothic aspects that you haven't really brought out? What is it that you really want to do? And when did you actually find out that you wanted to do those things? It's not easy. But let me know. I am really, really interested to see if you and I have got all these common characteristics and we have similar lifestyles and similar paths. That would be super interesting. So I'm not going to carry on anymore because 10 minutes I think is enough. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you very soon in the next session, and I will be cheering up again. Okay. Thank you very much. See you soon. Take care, my Gothic friends. Bye.